Cancerians, welcome to Carol's Universe, tarot readings from the heart. Thanks ever so much for joining me on your video. So we're doing the bonus reading for the month of June 2018. This is what's blocking you from finding real love. I have a lot of clients that come to me and say, why can't I find a relationship? Why can't I find a lasting relationship? And there's all sorts of things that will usually come through that type of reading. Some things that people didn't even realise, especially if you're telling someone, you know, there's still more releasing that you need to do of some form of a block. They're like, well, what block? Then they get really annoyed because it's like, well, how am I doing that? You know, how am I not releasing these blocks? I've done everything, but you'd be surprised. So we're just going to have a look at, this is just a general reading. I'm going to try and keep this kind of shortish if we can, because we do have other signs to read for now as well. So what we're going to use, I'm sorry, I'm having to use these Healing with the Angel cards again for this reading. And I'll probably use it for your love reading for the month ahead as well. Only because it's the only oracle cards that I've got on me at the moment. I'm recording from a different location. I didn't bring my other oracle cards with me. I didn't expect to be staying this long, you see. So yeah, we're gonna use these cards for the other readings as well that are coming up. So Gilded Tarot is your main reading, and the Hanson Roberts miniature deck is the clarifier deck we're going to use. Okay, so without further ado, we're going to get the advice card afterwards. We're going to go to the Gilded Tarot. Let me just sit on the floor. Ugh. See, what I'm trying to do is make sure I can see what's going on through the monitor I've got. The monitor is on the camera. I've not got my monitor. Usually when I'm recording from home, I've got the camera hooked up to the monitor so I can see exactly what's going on through the computer screen. But I don't have that on me at the moment, so having to make sure I keep an eye on stuff and see where my hands are. So, Universe Spirit, what is blocking Cancerians from finding true love at the moment? What's blocking Cancerians from finding true love at the moment? What's blocking them from finding real love at the moment? What's blocking the zodiac sign of Cancer from finding real love in their lives? Show me. Alright, so we've shuffled the deck. We're going to split it with my left hand into three. It's pretty tricky doing it this way actually, because I can't really see the monitor. 2 and 3, like so. And then we're going to collect that back up, like so. And we're going to start putting the cards out. So this is the present situation. This is where the focus is. This is the significator card. So this is who you guys are as people at the moment. This is what's challenging you in terms of finding real love. And this is the root. This is where everything started from. So this is the root issue. I'll pull this down just a little bit, because I think that I might need to pull... pull the camera up a little bit. Oh, you can probably... Oopsie daisy. Just bear with me a moment, guys. I told you it was a bit tricky trying to do it this way. Let me just get the... Usually I'm at home doing these recordings. You can see my foot as well. Can you see my foot? No, you can't. I don't think you can. There we go. Right. So, that needs to go down. Yeah, there we go. I can see that now. There we go. This is the recent past. And this is the most likely outcome for what's blocking you guys. God, can you see my hair? You can probably see my hair's in the way. At the moment, showing here. Okay, so the next card is how you guys are going to be feeling in the immediate future. This card here. This is probably the most important part here, because this area here is what's blocking you. So it's not what's blocking you, but it's how you're approaching your life right now, your love life. This is how you see love. This is how you're approaching love. This is how you're coming to the idea of love. So if you were coming with, for example, the Eight of Swords, you're approaching your love life. If this was the Eight of Swords, it might be that you're approaching your love life through the lens of kind of blockages. It might be that you've got mental blockages, and that might be what you're, you know, showing to other people with that Eight of Swords. This area really does affect what you're experiencing here as well. This is how your ex sees you, or, you know, the person that you've had an issue with, or maybe exes see you. This is how they see you, this area here. This is what your hopes or desires or fears are concerning love. And this card here is the advice card. So the last card is the advice card, and this is what's advising you. All right, so this card here is advising you, and the advice is what you can do to release this blockage here and potentially this blockage here. Some of the readings I've found, actually, Cancerians, aren't that bad. Some of them are really good. Some of them are kind of like people only have like minor blockages, but everything seems to be going well. So anyway, let's make a start. Let's have a look at this first card here. So the first card is this one here. This is how you're approaching your love lives. Well, that's not a great start, to be perfectly honest. You're approaching your love lives through the lens of the Queen of Cups in the reverse. Queen of Cups in the reverse is renowned as being someone who is deeply, deeply hurt. When you get hurt, she's renowned as being the drama queen of the tarot. She's renowned as being somebody who tends to blame everybody else for the lack of love in her life rather than herself. Because she's in the upright, she's an empath. So in the upright Cancerian, and this is actually your sign. Queen of Cups represents a Cancerian person, so that's definitely you. In the upright, she's empathic and she's sympathetic, and she gets it. So she can. This is the top for me. For example, last year I got involved with some guy, and he was, to me, when I look back at the guy, not being horrible or anything, but when I look back now, I can see exactly what he was and for what he was. And it was things that I'd chosen to ignore. When I was seeing him for a very short amount of time last year, I chose to ignore certain facets of who this person was, even though in my brain I kind of got it what the type of individual he was. And now I'm her. Now I look back at it and I'm kind of like, it doesn't matter, because I accept my part in the situation. I accept that I could have got out of that as soon as I met him, which my intuition was telling me to do. But usually if you ignore your intuition, it will come back and bite you on the ass. So right now, I'm her in the upright. I'm completely accepting. I don't care. He's just somebody who was there for a short amount of time and went. The whole thing doesn't matter. I can look at things from his perspective and I can look at things from my own. And when you're her in the upright, it's brilliant because you accept. You accept. But in the reverse, you don't. Also, the cup is reversed. As well. So when I see cups being reversed, I represent an unfulfilled love, unfulfilled emotion, emptiness. Is the Queen of Cups in the reverse. So her cup is reversed, so there's a sense of emptiness. Some of you guys, you're approaching love from a place of emptiness as well. So sometimes when you approach your love life from a place of emptiness, Cancerians, what you're doing is you're looking for anything and anything to fill it up. That's when you start making all of these wrong choices, when you're coming from a place of emptiness. She tends to be somebody who's also very resentful in terms of love, and she also distrusts quite a bit. She's also quite needy, which can sort of fall in with the idea of emptiness as well, because when you're empty, it's like when you're hungry, you'll eat anything. So she can be somebody who can be quite desperate as well. I'm not saying that any of you guys are desperate, Cancerians, don't get me wrong, but I certainly feel that you're approaching your love lives from a place of emptiness, and I think that for some of you guys, you're not feeling 100% fulfilled at the moment. Now, as a result of that, what you're experiencing right now is the Knight of Wands in the reverse. There are blockages right now in your lives, because the Knight of Wands reverse represents a blockage. Nothing new can come in when that Knight of Wands in the reverse. Now, that Knight of Wands reverse isn't to do with anyone. That Knight of Wands in the reverse is to do with the energy around you, and the energy is very blocked because you guys are approaching your love lives from a place of emptiness as the Queen of Cups in the reverse, which means that what you'll experience is blockages, and that's blockages to having the good stuff coming in. So you might have love coming in, but it might not be the right type of love. Because the blockage with the Knight of Wands in the reverse, as a result of that card and how you're approaching love, as I've said, if you're approaching love from a place of emptiness, then you're probably attracting the wrong people in, because it's your energy, which probably is slightly off balance with the Queen of Cups in the reverse, that is attracting in probably the wrong situations and the wrong people, which means that you kind of, block yourself from having good shit come in. Now, the reason why everything is happening this way, how it all started, was because of the Ten of Cups. And I think that with the root issue about the Ten of Cups was about a relationship for some of you guys. It doesn't tell us much with the Ten of Cups, to be honest, because the Ten of Cups can be a soulmate relationship. It can be a relationship in which, you were building a life with an individual. You had some very high expectations with that Ten of Cups. But around that, in the recent past, and the good thing is in the recent past, it doesn't tell us much about this card. It just says that how it all started was from a family, a home situation, a relationship you were trying to build, and one in which in the recent past you've been trying to heal from, because you've got that Three of Swords reversed. So the Three of Swords reversed, and it can also be if you've got a relationship, it maybe everything is starting because you've tried to reconcile your differences. Three of Swords in the reverse is to make a truce. So it might be around a relationship here you've been trying to make a truce with that Three of Swords in the reverse. Now, you guys are showing as being... I knew that would come up, I don't know why. So you're showing as being justice. So you're showing as having the balance of power, I think, right now. And it does tell me... usually I look at justice. If somebody shows us justice, they are judge and jury. So they're the people that make decisions. So I think that really right now you have the power of the decision. You have the power to make a decision within your life, within justice. You have the power to say, I'm not interested in this, or I am interested in this, or I'm going to let it go, or I'm going to let it stay with the justice energy. Because what's challenging you guys is the Two of Swords. You've got a dilemma here with the Two of Swords. I think that you guys have a real dilemma in terms of love, and that's why you show as your significator card as being justice, the one that needs to balance out these scales and make the decision, because you have a dilemma happening here. Therefore, the most likely outcome for... excuse me. Therefore, the most likely outcome for what's blocking you from finding real love is, well, the Nine of Cups in the reverse. Your expectations are not being met. That's what Nine of Cups in the reverse. This talks about unfulfilled potential. Not feeling satisfied, lack of contentment. I don't think that your expectations are being fulfilled, because I think that you are approaching your love life from a place of emptiness. And the reason for all of this happening is because of, possibly a long-term relationship. It could even be a soulmate with the Ten of Cups. You've got to be careful with that word soulmate, though. Soulmates aren't always the perfect match. Sometimes a soulmate is someone you simply can't let go of, and it's as simple as that. But it reflects something about yourself. So if this woman has somebody that she can't let go of, it's because she feels empty inside, and so it's just reflecting who she is and what she values about herself, and that then becomes your soulmate as far as I'm concerned. So we know that for some of you guys, I think you're approaching love from a place of hurt. For some of you, from a place of emptiness, I think more than anything with the Queen of Cups. And it's all to do with a long-term relationship with that Ten of Cups, or a soulmate relationship, one in which I think in the recent past you've wanted a truce with the Three of Swords. You have the power, though, Cancerians. I think you have the power to make these decisions on whether you want to have this truce, because I think that some of you guys are a little bit at a crossroads, mental crossroads. It might be also that you've got choices with that Two of Swords, but also I think that you're in a bit of a dilemma, because the most likely outcome will be, for your blockages, is that you're not actually feeling fulfilled. So what's blocking you from having real love is your unhappiness as well with the Nine of Cups. There isn't a sense of feeling happiness and joy and contentment, and also your expectations in terms of love have not been fulfilled. And that's why from here, the emptiness is saying that you're experiencing blockages. Now, coming in, what you're going to experience, guys, is the Seven of Wands. And I think that this is either you rejecting someone or someone is rejecting you. How does an ex-lover or lovers think about you? How do they think about you? How do they see you? Well, I see you as the Six of Wands in the reverse. So I think that if somebody sees you as the Six of Wands in the reverse, they're not seeing you as somebody who's particularly prominent. All right, they may see you as somebody who lacks confidence within yourself. Because Six of Wands in the upright is about somebody who has the confidence to sit very... This is a card about confidence, and this is somebody who can be... I mean, even, down to the point of arrogance. But even with some people that are arrogant, for some people it will show... If you see somebody that's arrogant, a lot of people, especially if people are inclined that way as well, especially if people are fairly shallow or superficial, they'll see arrogance as being somebody who holds themselves in high esteem or high value. Do you see what I mean? If I saw somebody that was arrogant, I wouldn't see... I think that this person thinks a lot of themselves, but, and yes, I would see this person, but I would see this person as probably overvaluing who they are. However, the Six of Wands is reversed. So your exes tend to think of you as somebody who lacks power and lacks gravitas, probably, with the Six of Wands in the reverse. They might see you as somebody who lacks confidence, or somebody who isn't good-looking enough, maybe, because Six of Wands in the upright is a very good-looking, very hot, very attractive individual who knows that they've got followers. You can see all these people looking at him. He knows he's got followers, he knows he's got admirers. This person may not admire you as well with that Six of Wands in reverse. I know it's a bit harsh, but sometimes it's true. Sometimes, all I do on my channel is try and be honest. That's all I ever do. I don't try and hurt people, but it's about honesty. I I'm not into sugarcoating anything. I never have been and I never will be. The day that I do that on this channel, I'll shut the damn thing down. I'm not going to sugarcoat on readings. I just can't do it. Even if people do get offended, I'm sorry, and I don't mean to offend at all. That's not my, position. But I'm just being honest. Somebody might see you with the Six of Wands in reverse as somebody who is not as attractive as I would like, for example, with that Six of Wands in the reverse. They might see you as somebody who's not particularly confident. They might see you with the Six of Wands in the reverse as somebody who doesn't get a lot of, admirers, for example. So you might be dealing with somebody who's quite shallow because... and it's funny because we use the word shallow, Cancerians, and I don't really want to use that word shallow. I don't really want to say people are shallow because the one thing I've learned growing older is that people love in the way that they love. Some people love with their eyes. Some people will fall in love with someone because someone's got a load of men around them. So some men will love women who can get a lot of attention, for example. It makes them feel good. It makes them feel like they're worth something, And I don't really want to put that down. I don't want to put down people who think like that because... people love how they love, and if you think in that way, then you think in that way. And who's to say who's right or wrong? Personally, for me, I love in the way, or I care about people who can show me that they've got good intentions. I like kindness. I like genuine people. I don't like people who bullshit you or say things so that they can get what they want. I'm not particular. It's fine for me. Love in the way that you want to love. If you love with your eyes, and you love beauty, and you love people that are popular, and people who are getting lots of attention, and that makes you feel good, and that makes you want to marry someone, then all for it. But I wouldn't go for somebody like that. I've already been for somebody like that, and it was not a nice experience, because that type of person can be a little bit fucked up as far as I'm concerned. Well, not even fucked up. The person I'm talking about wasn't fucked up. He had a very tunnel visioned about life, which is fine. And the way that he loved women was the way that he loved women, and fair play to him and everything. I hope his life is great. I hope he's married. I hope he's good. I hope he's everything. But at the end of the day, that's not the way I would choose to love. So what I'm saying is I'm not going to look down on the person that loved you or cared about you or you were in a relationship with. I'm not going to look down on them because they see you as less or because they don't see you as charismatic or confident, or they don't see you as Little Miss Popular or Mr. Popular, because the Six of Wands, when you see someone as a Six of Wands, you also see them as being a very popular person, somebody who's able to get a lot of attention. The person might think that you don't get a lot of attention, you don't get a lot of admirers, and it might be something that puts them off. But then I can see why you guys would approach love from the area of the Queen of Cups, a sense of emptiness, Queen of Cups reverse, a sense of emptiness and even resentment, especially if you've got lovers that see you as the Six of Wands in the reverse. Possibly somebody also that they feel lacks any type of value, unfortunately. What are your hopes in terms of love? Well, I think that your hopes are with this Five of Wands in the reverse just simply to recover. Because the Five of Wands in the reverse is to recover. And it is to resume balance again and to get over hurt and to get over loss and to get over pain. And what's the overall advice for how you release blockages in your love life to find real love? The Hermit reverse. Well, you need to isolate yourself, but it's telling you that you need to isolate yourself from a certain person or from a certain type. That's what I think it's saying. Especially the clues in the reading are the Six of Wands reverse and the Queen of Wands reverse, and also the Nine of Cups reversed. Alright, because I think that you do hold some resentment here, and there is some emptiness within you, Cancerians, because you're showing as yourself, Queen of Cups. I think that you are feeling somewhat reversed, and also there is a lack of self-love as well. Queen of Cups in the upright is about loving yourself. I became her a year ago when someone that I introduced into my life ended up being exactly what I thought he would turn out to be. He ended up fulfilling that. And for me, it wasn't a self-fulfilling prophecy. He was a good-looking chap, but it was written all over his face that you literally couldn't trust him. So I was her when everything kicked off last year. I was hurt. I was down, I was depressed, I didn't love myself, I hated myself, I started to really beat up on myself, that type of thing. I was her, that's what she does. She will beat up on herself, she will hurt herself. I don't mean sometimes she can physically do it. She'll drink too much sometimes with that Queen of Cups in the reverse. She'll turn to other things to give her fulfillment, drink, drugs. I never did that, obviously. I'm not a drug taker, which is fine. If people want to be drug takers, they can be drug takers, but I don't believe in drugs. I don't like them. But I was smoking. I don't smoke anymore, but I used to smoke quite a bit then as well as the Queen of Cups. So I turned to vices to help me to overcome what this person had done to me. Okay, so I know how that feels. I really do. And, the clue is that you guys need to isolate yourself from certain types, because your exes don't see you as a Six of Wands in the upright. So they're not seeing you as a perfect 10. They're not seeing you as somebody who gets loads of attention. They're not seeing you as somebody who's really good looking, or somebody who's really, who's got a lot of popularity, who's out there. They might also see you as being a bit of a hermit, or they might also see you as somebody who's, the good thing with the Six of Wands is that it's an ego-less card, because the worst ramifications of a Six of Wands in the upright is that you can have this huge ego, you see. So with the Six of Wands, this person can be arrogant and egotistical. So on the positive side, some of you might be seen as being, as having some form of moral code, being quite moralistic, and not being somebody who's got a massive ego and all the rest of it. Okay, some of you, it might be that you're seen that way with the Six of Wands being in the reverse. But the Six of Wands in the upright means popularity and fame, and it means that you're admired. And if somebody sees you or feels for you, the Six of Wands in the reverse, often this means that this person doesn't feel a sense of admiration for you. So a lot of your exes may not feel a sense of admiration for you, and that might be why you approach love from the area of the Queen of Cups in the reverse. A sense of, lacking self-love. Because you haven't been loved, you don't feel love with the Six of Wands, with the Queen of Cups in the reverse, because she doesn't love herself when she's reversed. She really doesn't. The cups mean love, and they mean loving ourselves, loving others. But in the reverse, you don't have enough love for yourself, and therefore you can't give it to others. And that's how you're approaching your love life. Now we're going to get some clarifiers on this, because the most likely outcome for what's blocking you. So what's most likely blocking you is the Nine of Cups in the reverse. You've not been fulfilled in your life. Your expectations haven't been met. You haven't had happiness with a partner. A lot of you guys really haven't had any happiness with a partner. And the root issue is all about that you had happiness with a partner with this Ten of Cups. Okay, but something I think with this Ten of Cups also came to the end of a cycle, and now in the recent past, all you've wanted to do, some of you guys, you've wanted just to heal the situation with the Three of Swords in the reverse. Let's get this a really, really interesting reading, actually. I think the most interesting of all the ones that I've done so far, Cancerians, is your one. I think it really is. We're going to get the clarifiers up on this. Let me just check up the time. Where are we on that? I can't see. I think it's 21. Is it 31 or 21 minutes? Trying to keep these readings down because trying to get everything done today. I'm at another location today, and I really want to get everything done before I go home tomorrow. So, Universe Spirit, why is Cancerians showing? Why are they approaching their love lives through the eyes of the Queen of Cups in the reverse? Why are Cancerians in two cards? The first card to tell me why, second card to explain the first. Why are Cancerians approaching their love lives from the position of the Queen of Cups reverse? Show me. Right, so we've got the Fool here. And I think that this showed somebody, when you get the Fool, sometimes what happens with that card, Cancerians, is you've got to look what falls behind it. And I think somebody wasn't committed. Right, so you've got the Fool energy here. I think that somebody lacked commitment in a relationship and rejected you with the Four of Cups. Okay, so I think you were dealing with somebody who lacked commitment, Cancerians, because the Fool can also show somebody who's not committed to love right now. They want to be free. They want to do what they want to do. So they're not committed to anything long term. And the Four of Cups shows when you're being rejected. So I think that you were the one. And also this is a Cancer card as well. Four of Cups is a Cancer card. So I think that what happened was you offered love to whoever this person was, and they didn't want to take it. So I think somebody wasn't committed to your relationship and didn't want to take love. They didn't want to have a proper relationship with you, Cancerians. And that's why you're approaching love through the eyes of the Queen of Cups in the reverse, through a sense of a lack of self-love. Possibly some depression with this Queen of Cups in the reverse. Possibly feeling a little bit emotionally distant, a little bit emotionally cut off with that Queen of Cups in the reverse. Maybe there's some, negative talk going on for some of you. Maybe you're talking to yourself negatively or feeling really negative with the Queen of Cups in the reverse energy, because somebody, I think, wasn't committed with the Fool and rejected you with that Four of Cups. Now, as a result of that, you're experiencing the Knight of Wands in the reverse. And what's this Knight of Wands reversed about as the present experience for Cancerians? What's the Knight of Wands about? Knight of Wands reversed about in two cards as the present experience? Well, this is about feeling hurt. So I think that you're experiencing a blockage here with the Five of Swords. So this Five of Swords is about hurt. So I think you've been hurt from, you've got, this is you as well. This can be a Scorpio. I think that you were hurt by a King of Cups. So I think that you're right now experiencing a Knight of Wands. Or also for some of you guys, because you're coming to your love lives from the perspective of the Queen of Cups in the reverse, where you're hurt and you're resentful because somebody wasn't committed and rejected you with that Four of Cups. I think as a result of that, you're experiencing the Knight of Wands in the reverse. And this is somebody who's not moving forward with you. So some of you guys are really experiencing somebody who's not moving forward with you. Because Knight of Wands in the reverse is a blockage card, energy blockage, but it's also a card that speaks of that somebody's not pursuing. So somebody's kind of like not calling you. They've just put the brakes on the relationship completely. They've completely cut you off. And I think that this is about you guys being cut off by a King of Cups. All right, so it could have been a fellow water sign that did this to you. I think that what you're experiencing is somebody who's blocked you. Knight of Wands in the reverse. They're not calling you. They're not pursuing you. They're not doing anything. When you get Knights, Kings, Queens, reverse, and sometimes pages, it means somebody's left. Somebody's left you, okay? So you're experiencing somebody who's not around, this Knight of Wands in the reverse. And the situation is this person's cut you. So I think that you've been cut off. Five of the Swords from a King of Cups. All right, this King of Cups could be a fellow water sign, fellow Cancerian, Scorpio, or a Pisces individual, or this is showing as a King of Cups. You've been cut off by this King of Cups because this King of Cups is showing as such without being that sign, because they are emotionally quite intellectual, so they know what's best for them, and they're kind of just doing that with you right now. Now, the reason that everything is happening is because of the Ten of Cups. And what is it about this Ten of Cups in two cards? What is it about this Ten of Cups in two cards? Right, so the Ten of Cups, this is all about rejection with the Seven of Wands, or this is about a struggle. So this is all about keeping or not. Can you see how that Knight of Wands is rushing in? Can you see how that person is eager? Can you see how this Knight of Wands, this is about blanking out a player or blanking out. So the reason that everything is happening is to do with a relationship. When you get a Ten of Cups, this can be a soulmate relationship, or this can be like a home situation. This can be a marriage, or this can be like this is to do with contentment. So the reason that everything is happening is because of contentment within a relationship. The situation is about having a contented, settled, and happy emotional relationship, I think, with this Ten of Cups. But this is about you blocking. It's all about the home. It's all about a relationship, a happy relationship. But I think that one of you, and I think it might have been you, because can you see how the Knight of Wands is looking towards that Seven of Wands character there? So the Seven of Wands is blocking out this person from coming in. Somebody's been blocked out from coming in. So the reason that everything is happening is because the Ten of Cups. I think the reason is that somebody wanted a long-term, happy, settled, committed, contented relationship. It's a really weird one because these are very different energies, and it's saying the root cause of everything is that in the distant past there was a relationship, a happy relationship. But I think in this relationship, one of you was rejecting the other from getting close. I'm not going to read this as a player. Sometimes we're tempted in tarots to read the cards in terms of who they're supposed to do. Knight of Wands is supposed to be a player, and he is sometimes. But sometimes the Knight of Rods says that somebody really wants to ramp a relationship up. They want to develop the relationship. Somebody is doing that. And sometimes the Knight of Rods means changes. I think somebody was blocking changes. They didn't want the situation. They didn't want to have the situation develop. I think somebody was, trying to block any type of development in this relationship, because Knight of Rods could easily be seen as a developmental card within love. It means where you're building on a relationship through, pushing the relationship forward. It's not a card that necessarily build, but it does. They do build because they're a movement card. But this is all about moving a relationship in another direction sometimes with the Knight of Rods. But you can see the Seven of Rods is right there, and the Seven of Rods is saying keep the fuck out. It's basically right. See how the Knight of Rods looks at this person there, and they're saying keep out. Can you see? Seven of Rods says to this Knight of Rods, keep the fuck out, man. You're not coming in. Now the Knight of Rods can't stop. So this is a what's the word that we use? It was in the film Batman. It's an unstoppable force. When an unstoppable force meets an unmovable object. The Seven of Wands is the unmovable object, and this is the unstoppable force. So in the distant past, this was all about completion of a relationship, maybe marriage. But within that, somebody wasn't allowing any changes. And this is why things are happening, because I think it was the person. I think it was this person that rejected you, this King of Cups. This person didn't want changes. This person rejected the idea of changes. And those changes were all about, we need to, make this relationship far more stable. Maybe get married. Maybe have a couple of kids. Maybe move in together with this Ten of Cups. But somebody rejected the idea of this change, this movement. And I think in the recent past, you've been experiencing the Three of Swords. And what's the Three of Swords about? What's the Three of Swords about for Cancerians? What's the Three of Swords about for Cancerians in the recent past? Well, it's about moving on, I think, with this Chariot. Now, chariots mean that you're trying to control. Now, that's actually you, Cancerians, the Chariot. That's you. So I think that this is about you guys trying to gain control. Okay, Six of Swords, gaining control and moving on. Six of Swords, but also gaining control and clarity, because you can see that the Six of Swords is definitely moving towards justice on this card as well, and that's who you are. So you guys are trying to find balance. Okay, so I would say probably just before we use clarifiers on there, this is you guys trying to heal with this Three of Swords reverse, Cancerians, in the recent past as a result of this situation. And you're trying to heal with the Chariot energy. For some of you guys, it might be doing physical exercise as well. Charioteers usually show as athletes in the tarot. So this is somebody who likes to go to the gym, do some resistance training, that type of thing. You might be riding a bicycle or doing long bike rides with that Chariot energy. Or you might be driving quite a bit, going on trips. Both cards represent travel, so you might be trying to heal through travel. The Chariot is a car, for example, and the Six of Swords can be a ship. So it might be either by car or boat or something. Maybe you're doing a bit of travel here for some of you guys, as in trying to heal through travel, for example. Some of you guys might be pursuing, a new direction with that, because this is also pursuing, and this is you, the Chariot. But I think because you're the Chariot, Cancerians, I'm seeing you guys trying to bring yourselves back into alignment here by perhaps with the Six of Swords travelling or seeking clarity, for example, with that Six of Swords energy. It might be in the recent past you've been healing from this, because with the Chariot energy you have been finding that you can control those rages, that anger that the two Sphinxes are, by with the Six of Swords, searching for clarity with that Six of Swords, searching for something else to do, searching for a distraction. Now, you're showing as being justice at the moment, and let's have a look at why you're showing as being justice. Why is Cancerians showing as being justice? Why are Cancerians showing as being justice? Well, I think it's because you're guided here. It might be that because you're showing, your significator card is saying that you are justice. So you have the power to make a decision here. You have the power to find, but you're in a place now where you know that you hold the scales of balance. You've got the power to make decisions. And that's all about the Hierophant and the Ten of Coins. So the Hierophant and the Ten of Coins is all about marriage sometimes, or a union. So it could be for some of you guys, you're showing us justice right now. It might be that for some of you guys, you're showing us justice because you've completed a stage in terms of who you are concerning a strong union that you were in, because the Hierophant and the Ten of Coins is often a card that would refer to a marriage, or would usually refer to a marriage, or at least a very, very blessed strong union here. But this is marriage combination, often the Ten of Coins and the Hierophant, because Hierophant represents the church and a blessing, okay, over a very strong union showing here. So you're showing us justice. Might be that some of you guys are actually married with those cards as well. So your significator card might be showing you as somebody who's married, for example, because justice as well is a legal card, and that would be indicating maybe a legal ceremony or a legal marriage or a union or that type of thing. So some of you guys might actually be married here. But your challenge is the Two of Swords. And let's have a look at why your challenge is the Two of Swords. Why is Cancerians challenge the Two of Swords? Why is Cancerians challenge the Two of Swords? Well, it's all about working and improving relationships. Three of Coins. Oops, I've got some hair there. You seem to be your challenge is, I think, with the Two of Swords, that you're in a dilemma. I think your challenge is that you're in a dilemma. And that dilemma is about working on a relationship, the Three of Coins, with somebody who's quite deceptive. It might be here that you have the power of a decision. So some of you guys, it might literally be that some of you actually have this person that's come back. And they've said, look, I want to give it another go. And you're showing us justice, the person that holds the scales of, who holds the scales of justice. You hold, things are in your, the choice is in your capacity to make, because it's all about maybe a marriage. Maybe you've got the ultimate choice on this marriage or this union, because your challenges might be in two minds, might be in a bit of a dilemma, and it might be whether to work towards, I think, improving a relationship with somebody who, with the Seven of Swords, is a deceiver. So it might be saying, well, I don't know whether I should be working on, and it might be that this person's got a secret Pisces. It might be this person's deceived you. So it might be you're in a dilemma as to whether you should work on a relationship with somebody who deceived you. Deception could be with a Pisces person or a mysterious person that they lied about with the Three of Swords. Third party is the Three of Swords. You get it with cards like Seven of Swords, High Priestess. They can easily show you third party situation, or somebody who's lying to you about a mysterious person, or somebody who's behind the scenes. Could also be a Pisces person as well. So it might be that some of you guys are kind of like, well, I'm in a dilemma. I'm in two minds as to whether I should work towards, improving a relationship with a deceptive person here who lied to me about there being a third party, which is this High Priestess. This a Pisces person or a secret individual, Cancerian, and you're in two minds because of that. So some of you guys, this person literally could still be around you. They could be. And that might be why the energy is that you guys are actually the Knight of Wands in reverse. You're not moving forward because you've been hurt by this individual. So the energy literally could be that some of you guys aren't moving forward with this person, Knight of Wands. You put a stop on the situation with this individual because this person's hurt you. Now, the most likely outcome for what's blocking you from finding real love is the Nine of Cups in the reverse. What's the Nine of Cups reversed about? Whoopsie daisy. What's the Nine of Cups reversed about? Show me. Well, Seven of Cups, got a lot of drink here. I don't know whether you guys are overindulging. Seven of Cups can be, Nine of Cups reverse can be overindulging as well. It's almost like because the Seven of Cups here, and I think it's the Nine of Cups might be overindulging in something here. The blockage to finding real love is because you're overindulging with that Nine of Cups reverse. Also, it might be indulging in the wrong things as a way to find happiness, because this is as a way, when you get the Seven of Cups, this can show that you're looking for ways. You might be looking for ways to find strength. So some of you guys might be indulging in the wrong things with that Nine of Cups in the reverse because you're looking at a way to find your own confidence. I get the impression with those three cards there that your main blockage to finding real love is because it's not because of this situation, it's because you are not dealing with it in the right way. You think you're dealing with it, but you're not. You're not dealing with it in the right way because you show us the Queen of Cups in the reverse. That's how you're approaching your love life. Okay. And, I mean, you deal with it okay here, but you're not dealing with it here. And it's saying the most likely outcome for what's blocking you from finding real love is because you seem to be overindulging with that Nine of Cups in the wrong things, and it's all about you trying to find a way to find strength or confidence. So maybe some of you guys are drinking too much, or doing too many doing things that, because you can go overboard with the Nine of Cups reversed as well. So some of you guys might be doing something a little bit too much as in a way to kind of like paper over the cracks with that Seven of Cups and the Strength card. Looking for ways to find strength. It looks like bubbles of champagne to me and stuff like that as a way to find strength. So maybe too much drink or something like that. Coming in, you're going to experience this Seven of Wands. And what's this Seven of Wands about? What's this Seven of Wands about? The Lovers. So this is about you rejecting this relationship, I think. I think this is you pursuing relationships. I think that you are, and also I think that Cancerians, this is you not only rejecting, what are you rejecting? Knight of Swords is pursuing, and the Lovers is relationships. It might be a Gemini person as well, both cards are Gemini. Might be that you're rejecting a Gemini individual, it might be that you're rejecting pursuing relationships, it might be that you're rejecting players that want a relationship with you, with that Lovers energy. Coming in though, not coming in, sorry, how does your ex feel about you or think about you with the Six of Wands? What's the Six of Wands reversed about? What's this Six of Wands reversed about? What's this Six of Wands reversed about? What's this? Whoa, I just tried dropping at you. What's this Six of Wands reversed about in 2 cards? What's this Six of Wands reversed about in 2 cards? Right, death in the reverse means return. It's almost like you're returning to something. What's that? Hanged Man in the reverse. See, the Hanged Man reverse means when you can't let go. You haven't surrendered, you haven't learned anything. The Death card in the reverse often means resurrecting or returning. So your ex-lovers see you as the Six of Wands in the reverse. Somebody who's probably, I think this is somebody who lacks confidence for some reason. And it might be because they consistently see you as returning to old ideas with the Hanged Man. Returning to repeating patterns maybe with this Hanged Man. I think this person, your ex-lovers more than anything, see you as somebody who's not changed or refuses to change or see things in a different way. Your hurt would be the Five of Cups in the reverse, and this is, I think, is really just to heal. What's this Five of Cups about in 2 cards? What's this Five of Cups about in 2 cards? Well, the Moon. So this is about your feelings. Depression, hurt, anxiety, over a miscarriage of justice. So you're looking to heal, but you're looking to heal from feeling probably quite depressed with the Moon energy, over being treated so badly with the Justice energy in the reverse. The universe says the way that you, and I think that you need to isolate yourself from whatever it is that you're doing here. Because to be perfectly honest with you, the blockages that I'm seeing in this reading are you being the Queen of Cups in reverse, and if you're overindulging in things that you shouldn't be indulging in as a way to cope with pain. What's the Hermit about reversed? What's this Hermit about reversed as the way that Cancerians can overcome blockages to find real love? What is the Hermit about reversed in 2 cards? Well, the Queen of Swords. I think you need to isolate yourself from hurt, because this is hurt of the Queen of Swords, shows somebody who's feeling hurt. You're hurt, the way, see, you've got the Ten of Wands here, so it's your hurt that's causing the struggle. And you need to isolate. The Hermit in reverse talks about isolation. You need to completely isolate yourself from this. And what do you need to isolate yourself from? Well, the Queen of Swords talks about the hurt that you feel bringing pressure to you. And the pressure that it brings to you is why some of you guys might be overindulging here. Especially if you're drinking too much, eating too much with that Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups in the upright is all about party, party, party. So it's like a Three of Cups. When you get that, you can see he's drinking in the upright. He's eating, you know, sometimes he's eating too much food, doing the wrong things, eating rich foods, drinking too much alcohol. You know, this is partying a little bit too much. But when it's reversed, sometimes you can be overdoing this. Okay. And the only reason I say that is because what's clarifying that is saying that this card is about the Seven of Cups. And the Seven of Cups is too much drink sometimes. Or looking for ways to find strength. So if this had shown, if different cards had shown there, I would have explained the Nine of Cups reversed differently. Because sometimes the Nine of Cups reversed says that you get what you want, but it doesn't come up to your expectations. Okay. And so therefore, because I look at these 2 cards as overindulging with the Seven of Cups, or sometimes the Seven of Cups is trying to look for a way to find strength. It's almost like you're trying to mask the pain by overindulging here with the Nine of Cups energy. So I think that the blockage to you guys finding real love is because you're not really tackling a situation within yourselves. You're looking for something to mask the pain, and the universe is saying, well, how do you overcome that? You need to completely isolate yourself, withdraw from this hurt that you are feeling, bringing pressure to you with the Ten of Wands. Encouraging pressure, and those pressures are encouraging some of you guys to overindulge a little bit more, a little bit too much in certain areas of your life that mask this pain. We'll quickly go through this reading again. What is blocking some of you Cancerians from finding real love? Well, you've got this Queen of Cups showing here as how you approach love. And you approach love from a place of deep hurt, resentment, distrust, depression with that Queen of Cups reverse, but also mostly a great sense of emptiness. Because I think that somebody wasn't committed. The situation is somebody wasn't committed with the with the Fool energy. But also I think that you know, I think somebody wasn't committed to you and there was a rejection here. But also I think that if you are approaching love from a Queen of Cups in a reverse perspective, well, we say, well, what's the Queen of Cups about? So it might not necessarily be about the person. It might simply be that you right now, you're not committed to love, and you would probably, with the Four of Cups, reject any interest coming to you from anyone. So, you know, if you say, well, what's the Queen of Cups about? So Cancer looks like they are approaching their love lives from a place of emotional detachment to a certain extent. And it might be that you guys, with the full energy as well, are kind of like this new phase. You're kind of like deciding, I'm going to head in a new direction now, and that direction doesn't include accepting any relationships at the moment, because the reason that everything happened is because I think some of you guys were in a happy relationship with that Ten of Cups, but I think that in that happy relationship somebody was fighting change. So somebody didn't want to develop the relationship into something more, because this person's blocking out this Knight of Rods, and the Knight of Rods is change. It's almost like saying, I'm not ready for change, I don't want it to come. So you were in a happy relationship, I think, but one of you was blocking, literally doing something that would develop the relationship, whether it's getting married or having children or whatever it is. And I think that in the recent past, you guys have been trying to heal over this by possibly pursuing with this Chariot a new direction. You might indeed, some of you, still be in this relationship with this person. So if this person doesn't want kids, it might be, you know, right now I am, you know, okay, fine, if we'll get a truce on this, because what we'll do then with the Chariot, how I handle this and how I control my emotions is by distractions, maybe. And it might be that my distraction is concerning, you know, this Hierophant, just because you're in justice here. So you are showing us justice. You know, you might say to yourself, well, at least I've got control over, you know, how I feel about this. I don't know what this is, because you're showing your significator, you're showing us justice. So you're showing us holding the balance and the scales. It looks like you're showing us holding control. You have the final decision. So I think that really what it's saying is that you're showing really as having the final decision over whether you want to get married, especially if there's somebody, and I get the impression that somebody's still on the scene here. I get the impression that somebody's still on the scene for some of you guys. Okay? And as a result of that, the present situation around you in terms of love, in terms of what's blocking you at the moment, the present situation is the Knight of Wands. Nothing's moving forward here. Or it might be that you've decided not to move anything forward here, because you've been deeply hurt, I think, from this individual. At the most, and what's challenging you is you're in a dilemma, because you don't know whether you want to work on a relationship with a deceptive individual who's lying about another individual. So it might be that, if I get the impression, this King of Cups here that seems to have rejected you and made you feel the way that you felt, it might be with the Ten of Cups being the root issue, that this is a happy relationship, but somebody seems to be rejecting there being development in this. It might be that you say, well, the challenge for me is I'm in two minds, whether I should work on a relationship, because I think that this person's been deceiving me over another person that they've got with this Three of Swords, this third party situation. You think that I think some of you guys think that this person's literally deceiving you, that they're lying. And that's why there seems to be blocked energy in this relationship, because this person's hurt you to a great extent, and therefore what is blocking you from having real love really is the Nine of Cups, and that might be with the Seven of Cups, that you seem to be indulging in other things, you know, finding ways to find strength. So it might be that you're overindulging, some of you guys, as a way to mask your pain. And coming in, it might be, you know, you seem to reject this individual, and this is all about pursuing love, or really pursuing a relationship with this individual showing here. Might be also there's some arguments or something, because this is the relationship. There might be some arguments or altercations in this, and it might be the Seven of Wands in the image. If there are challenges, especially if you're with this person, I think you're going to have challenges and arguments with them, because this person sees you as the Six of Wands in the reverse. They see you as not feeling confident. You seem to be returning with the Death card to old ideas. So for some of you guys, if you are involved with a person, it might be that it's not literally their fault. It might be that you simply don't trust them because they don't want to get married or move in with you or develop the relationship in the way that you want to develop it, because you're hoping to get over the hurt, the Five of Cups. And the situation is that emotionally you feel really upset because you feel that you've been treated quite badly. But the universe is saying that if you want real love, and you can, for some of you guys, if you are actually, I think, involved with the person, I think if you are involved with someone right now, I think that because they don't seem to want to do something in this relationship, you lack the trust with them. You don't trust them. You think they're seeing someone else. But the universe is saying, well, look, you're overindulging to mask the pain, but how you overcome the situation to find real love within this relationship is you need to just withdraw from this hurt, because and it's all about this hurt bringing pressure to you, bringing obstacles to the relationship, because the Queen of Swords naturally gets hurt. So you need to kind of try and take a step back and not focus so much on the hurt of what this person said to you, because that's bringing struggles, and those struggles are encouraging this doing the wrong thing so you can mask the pain. So I think that if you are involved with someone, Cancerians, you're doing stuff to mask the pain. Sorry, I was just checking the time, 49 minutes. You're doing stuff to mask the pain. That's what I think's happening here for some of you guys. I think if somebody's left you, though, okay, I think that the blockage is still, again, I think if somebody's left you and hurt you, as we explained in the first reading, and it might be that they've done it because they see you as somebody who keeps returning to maybe bad habits with that Hanged Man reverse. You keep returning to certain patterns of behaviour. So it might be they see you as the Six of Wands in the reverse. You're never going to get over certain patterns of bad behaviour, Cancerians. And that might be why this person, hurt you. Because it might be that they thought, well, I can't move forward with Cancer because there are certain things that it doesn't gel with me. It's a really complex situation I think you've got going on with an individual, either in your life or somebody that left. But I think that the main thing for what's blocking you guys is, number one, your focus perhaps being that, if you're single or if you're attached, your focus being on somebody cheating on you. The other thing is, the blockage to you having real love is overindulging in certain areas of your life, whether that's too much drink, too much food, whatever it is. But it's a way to try and find that inner strength. And you're indulging in things that are only artificially going to give you strength, Cancerians. And the way that you overcome that is by completely removing yourself, so detaching yourself from all of these hurt feelings that are going to bring those pressure in. So if you're in a relationship, it might be that you've got nothing to worry about, but you don't trust someone because they said no to you. They didn't want to really move in. They didn't want to get married. You might take that as them having an affair with somebody else. If somebody left you, Cancerians, I still think it's a case of that it's not that the person hurt you, it's what you're doing about it right now. You're masking the pain through using other, vices to do that. And the universe says you need to remove, which is what the hurt reverse is, you need to remove the hurt. And this is, that's bringing this pressure here. So these are the things or the matters that I think might be blocking some of you guys from finding real love. We're going to get an advice card on that, on this reading. So, universally, what is the advice that you have for Cancerians on this reading? What is the advice that you have for Cancerians on this reading? Show me. It says that you need to listen. Listening. Okay, you need to listen. Alright, you need to listen. What is it that they need to listen to? And I think that also, it says listen to your angels, because you've got the angel here. And it's funny because another card came up. You need to listen to Archangel Michael. Alright, so I think that you need to listen, you need to pray, and you need to meditate for answers on this situation personally as a way to give healing. Alright, because through study will come abundance. Showing here, through study will come abundance. So I think that if you listen to your angels, if you listen to God, if you meditate on the situation, through study will come abundance. For some of you guys in relationships, you might be taking certain things slightly to heart. For those of you guys who aren't in relationships and who have been hurt, you need to, listen to your angels, listen to God as a way to put that as your indulgence rather than whatever it is. It's Nine of Cups reverse, you might be indulging too much in shopping, for example, spending money that you don't have as a way, Seven of Cups, to find strength, to find that inner confidence. So rather than do that, why don't you indulge in something that's slightly more, risk-free, because study, maybe you need to get into a new area of study something, find something that replaces the materialism of the Nine of Cups in the reverse, find something that gives you a little bit more passion, a little bit more interest, because whatever you study here is going to bring abundance, but whatever it is you're doing here, it's only for the short time, and it's only going to, some of you guys might smoke a little bit too much weed. Nine of Cups is a way to find strength, to feel better about yourself, but it can only last for a certain time. You need to find something more spiritual and deeper that's going to help you through. Alright, that is your reading, Cancerians, for your bonus reading for July 2018. I would like to say thanks ever so much for joining me on Carol's Universe, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Remember to check out your other readings for the month of July 2018. Take care. Bye-bye.